Hey, I just wanted to say thank you so much for your support of my mission trip to be able to go to YWAM Brisbane over these past 2 years. It was an incredible opportunity to learn about God and to just grow in acting and filmmaking and get to work alongside with other Christians who are passionate about reaching people in the film industry and getting to learn their stories. And the whole 2 years was just packed with so many good things. There's just so much happened in these 2 years when I was with YWAM that it would take so long to tell you all the really good things that happened. But one of the coolest things was myself and two other filmmakers, a part of the production company with YWAM, had the opportunity to create this documentary of a guy named Tom Murphy. And his story is absolutely insane. We actually met him through connections we had in YWAM and outreach we would do every week going into Fortitude Valley. He'd kind of be a part of that, and so we kind of knew him from doing outreach. But this guy's story is absolutely crazy. He used to own the largest strip club in all of Queensland, so the state that we were in Australia, but he gave that up. He found the Lord and he committed his life to Christ, and he then in turn went back to Fortitude Valley to become a bouncer. And I'm spoiling a lot of what we got, but his story is just so cool. As I got to be the camera operator, one of the editors, and also I got to help with just all the production of it. It took so long for me to be able to share this just because we've been doing a lot of editing on it, and I'm not allowed to actually to show it publicly on Facebook or anything like that, just because we still need to actually, we're thinking about submitting it to film festivals, and there's some laws that you kind of have to follow with that. You know, feel free to share this with other people privately, but I just ask you not to share it onto anything like Facebook or anything like that yet. If you want to send it privately, like in an email or, you know, message somebody with it, that'd be so cool. We're trying to get as many people to watch it as we can because we really think it is a life-changing story that a lot of people need to hear. And so I'm sharing this with you. Just a way to say thank you so much for your support. Here's something we did. And yeah, I hope you enjoy our documentary titled Fortitude, the Valley's Doorkeeper.
Fortitude explains itself, you know, strong place.
Circus after midnight.
Yeah, it's fun. It's dirty and it's laid back. It's fun.
Pretty wild.
A little bit grungy.
The people here aren't, I think, as pretentious as what you get in the city.
All sorts of people come to the valley.
Yeah, the people are really cool and chill and laid back.
From my perspective, it is where lost, hurt and broken people come to try and fill the void.
I'm in the valley to have a good time. I've turned 18 2 weeks ago. I'm ready to party. If you just want like a good night out, it's the place for you.
People try out good clubs.
Dangerous if you're, not with your friends.
Probably a bit confronting at times.
People, there's other stuff happens, but that happens everywhere.
I see it as a complete opportunity. So much opportunity. My name is Tom Murphy. You could say that I'm a bouncer. I would rather say I'm an educator. I give education to a lot of people about manners and being civil. I love the valley. I've worked in the valley for about 14 years in a couple of different roles.
I worked with Tom for quite a while. He was a security guard at our club.
I was originally doing some promotion for my club, and he just came across the road singing, and I was like, he's an interesting character.
And I saw her face.
Yeah, he always made sure that I got back to my car safe. I got home.
So I met Tom probably about 10 years ago. I was a night watch chaplain. It was when I first came out on shift, and he was a security guard here in the valley at a place called the Peep Show, which fortunately no longer exists.
I was working in one of the worst strip clubs in Queensland by far. I did the security and I managed the place.
His life was depressing. He was surrounded by darkness. He worked in a place that literally subjectified women.
New Year's Day 2014, in a 2-hour period, I lost my wife and daughter to another man. I lost my job and I lost my license. And I was living in a houseboat. I got down on the floor and I said, Lord, why me? Small, still voice came back, because you didn't turn to me. And I said, Lord, I'm here now. I'm here now, and the conviction, because I have treated people who are dying like they were of no worth at all. Go away, die over there, so I don't have to fill out the paperwork. You know, God paid such a price for them, and I treated them like rubbish. And then I got saved, and you see every one of them as precious. You see the gold. You see that the blood of Jesus Christ was not paid in vain, was paid for all. It was paid for all. There are no cheap people.
Tom disappeared for a while. I remember he came up to me and was like, you know, really excited to see me and stuff. And he was like, I'm a Christian now. And I was like, what?
Being a new Christian and not understanding things and throwing a tantrum here and there, going, God, why? And God revealing different things. His nature, just how much he loves. Absolutely incredible experience. The things that just unfolded around me were just amazing. Prior to getting saved, everybody would stand away like, ooh, he's going to rip our heads off. Getting saved, walking in the Spirit, the little kids would come and play with me. It would be like little kids all over the place, just absolutely incredible the way they would interact. They knew they were completely safe. Walking through a shopping centre, and there were these two guys, and I go, how are you, gentlemen? And this woman goes, oh, that was like hearing the voice of God. Who starts a conversation like that? And got to share with her that it wasn't the voice of God. But if she needed to hear God, there was a way she too could reach Him.
Tom in particular has an exuding faith. His love for people, really, I believe, is tempered only by his love for God. And, you know, I think Tom at times has had challenges, both with the venues he's worked at and in his own personal life, but he never brings that to work. You know, he never brings that onto the street. And I think that's one of the really important things out here is, you know, we all definitely have our challenges, but we either get to be people who speak hope or people who bring light, or, you know, we can, you know, bring the darkness with us. And what makes Tom special is that he is always a bright light, even when things are dark in the space. So,
about 8-9 months ago, I was actually homeless. You know, I was evicted from the house that I was in. Ended up on the streets, and in the midst of my pity party, crying out, Lord, why me? Drunk man walks up with a bottle of Jack Daniels, sits down. I've got my Bible there, I've got my Bible reference book there, I've got all the things I use to do my personal time with Jesus. And he goes, brother, let's have a drink. I go, but man, I'm trying to get in touch with God. He says, really, I'm a Christian? And I nearly fell over laughing. And he goes, no. And his voice changed slightly, and he actually started to prophesy. And the words were quite simply, this is not punishment. This is education. You need to see what I have to show you. And it changed absolutely everything. I think it was the next day I ran into that young lady, Rachel, and I was walking down the riverbank, and Rachel was sitting in a set of stairs right next to the river. That was her bathroom. That was where she washed and everything. And as I walked past, I just nodded. She nodded back, and then she pointed and nodded towards a table. And I went and sat down, and that's where she proceeded to try and give me the last of her coffee, the last of her food. And she just tried to give. And while I was sitting there, the conversation, she told me that the reason her dress was absolutely soiled was she'd received a period that night. and it was the only dress that she had. And my heart broke because I had clothes at least. I had changes of clothes. You know, I had money. I didn't have a roof, but what does that mean? And she had nothing. And it just wrecked me. And I got to go down and organise some clothes for her, some soap for her, and a place to shower, and to just be the arms, you know, the hands and the feet of my Lord. And I asked her, why did you do that with me? You know, why sit down with me? And she said, you were the only one who didn't look like you wanted something from me. And it just broke me. She's the most vulnerable, and people are trying to take advantage of her. People want to be tied in. People want to be part of the family of God. And if you love on them unconditionally, let them see Jesus in the greeting. It's what they're looking for. When you go from the worst places into a church with all these squeaky clean people, it's scary because you don't know what to say and you don't know what etiquette to use. And yeah, it was really an intimidating thing. Give me a bar room full of bikers, I was comfortable. But put me in with all these clean, squeaky Christians, and whoa, that was just, I was out of my depth. What's in your hand? Moses, he had the stick in his hand. What do I have? I have the ability to say hello. I have the ability to impact on people's lives just in the warmth of the hello. What is in your hand? And it doesn't have to be complicated. My greatest joy is taking young people out and showing them the difference in witnessing. Don't use my style, use yours. God has blessed you with qualities. He has blessed you with the most amazing personality. He has blessed you with so many things to impact people around you. Don't take mine, take yours.
So I hope you liked watching that. Again, it was so much fun getting to work on that production, and yeah, it's just a glimpse of what we were able to do in the school. And again, just thank you so much for your prayer and support. I could not have done it without you, and I hope you are enjoying this new year, 2019, and I hope that you have a wonderful, blessed year.